Alright, so what do we got going here? Got my game going. Not feeling good yet. It's been almost a week now. I think like last Thursday I started getting sick. Of course, I didn't take any time off of work because I work by myself. No risk of getting anybody else sick. It just doesn't help me heal any quicker. Hoping that if I just take it easy today, I gotta clean the house. But short of resting and cleaning the house, that's the only thing I'm doing. I really don't want to leave. Alright, so I'm not sure how long I'm actually going to be on today. I'm going to try to get some time in though. Alright, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Making some adjustments, trying a new setup because OBS kept messing things up on me. I actually made 2 or 3 videos, but not feeling well, and then having problems with OBS, and not just wanting to spend several hours figuring out how to get the microphone to start working again. I just completely left OBS and went with a new service. Actually, it's one I used a couple years ago and was just getting familiar with it when I stopped streaming. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of trial and error. I'm just not that good with the tech. But one of my videos was basically I want people to put some time and energy into getting as much of this done as possible. So do some dungeons. Yesterday I would have been doing spider. Today I'd be waiting for the dragon to fire up if you've already finished spider. Because farming the dungeons is going to get you points. And then the gear that you don't want you can sell. So rolling up your gear and your accessories is also going to get you points. But this gear set, the Slayer gear set, is just so strong. Of course, I haven't got lucky. Every time I pick one, it's blue or green, and it's never 3 in a row. See? But the gear set is definitely worth it. There's a chance that we might get this offered to us in the Forge Pass 3 times a year. Maybe. And of course, if you're going to want to do it, you're going to have to pay for the rewards. You're actually showing mythical in here. You won't get mythical for the free Forge Pass. You'll have a hard time getting 6-star legendary with the free Forge Pass. I'm not even sure if you can. But this is like an extra Forge Pass that you don't have to pay for. You just have to work for. So you're going to have to spend some resources, red gems. I didn't have any yesterday. I've been trying to accumulate some, doing Doom Tower, and I think I can do Curse City. I did Curse City before I went to bed. But I can go through here and try to pinpoint any energy. Any silver is not really worth targeting. I like the energy and possibly... Well, this is normal. You could always target bosses because you could sell off the gear for more silver. That's more valuable than actually going for something like this. This is absolutely worthless. If it was 2 million silver, it might be worth targeting, but it's just in the way of getting to where you want to go. So, we got clan boss rewards. Alright. Before I went to bed, I had a clanmate ask me about my clan boss team, which I have not even looked at in over 6 to 8 months. Whenever they did the Corpulent Cadaver nerf, I haven't looked at it since then. I think I plugged 3 different champions in to see which one was the best, and I just settled for Newt, and I haven't touched it since. So I myself will have to revisit it. I know I could make a bigger team I just haven't wanted to spend the silver. But he's just curious what I'm running. And I actually haven't even watched my team operate in so long because of the quick battles. Basically, I got Brogni hitting like a semi with no brakes, 3 buff extenders, and Newton doing damage. I could optimize this team to do quite a bit better than what I'm doing now. I just don't feel like spending the silver. The clan is doing great, so there's no need to. For people who want the bragging rights, I mean, back before they nerfed Corpulent Cadaver, this team was hitting for 950 million. I could one-shot the boss. And that was great. I mean, we were a really small clan. It was only like 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 people hitting Clan Boss Ultra. So me hitting that hard really helped the clan. But then they nerfed it. So then I ended up spending 2 or 3 keys a day hitting the boss. For now, I seem to be doing 300 million to 350 per battle. All affinities. Red can sometimes drop down as low as like 258 or something like that. 258 million. Come on, tick tick. We're all waiting. All right, 3. That's pretty close to average, and that was brutal. It really doesn't change much for between the 3 of them here. I'm not gonna hit Nightmare, or I'm not hitting Ultra because my clanmates hit Ultra, and I like them to get as close to 50 before I hit it because the affinity doesn't matter. For all the guys who can't hit red or can't hit green, I want them to get as much purple boss void in there as possible. I'm probably going to step out of this because we are not going to want to watch it, but I haven't watched it in 8 months. Basically, Brogni goes in, hits, gets his shield up, and now his second hit, the decreased defense up. So he's going to start using his A2, which grows the shield. All 3 of my buff extenders. So she brings in the crit rate and a crit damage or attack, and then he brings in just big hits and he extends the buff. And he brings in a lot of defense and extends the buffs. I'll go over the gear as quickly as possible. It's actually a really pretty team to watch, but nobody's going to want to watch it because it lasts 45 minutes. I mean, when you first build it and you're tweaking it and you're getting excited because you've actually hit the boss that hard, it's something. It's you know, you go past turn 50 and you just keep right on going. It's kind of old news now. Clan Boss in particular is old news, but it is the single most way to improve your count. Hitting the Clan Boss every day, even if you're small, and getting a book or getting a blue shard is the fastest way to grow your account, because PvP takes a week for the rewards to come in, and you might spend hours every day hitting other teams. Live Arena, I don't care much for it, so I ain't been doing it. I mean, the peak, if I'm actually interested in doing it, it's probably not running. When it's running, I'm either working or I'm busy, or if I'm playing the game, I'm busy doing something. I don't want to stop what I'm doing to go do a live arena. I do need to get in there and do it, but it's just something I haven't done. Alright, I'm going to close this out real quick and then fire it back up. Alright, come on, come on. Go over the team. Brogni. Now, I'm not even sure because I haven't even looked at it in the last 8 months since they did the nerf. And is it Bearded Dragon and the Mexican guy? I haven't watched him in a while either. Maybe not Mexican, the South American guy. The two of them constantly go back and forth on the world record. They've probably changed it up a dozen times over since the old build. But I basically got this guy hitting as hard as possible. Kind of want to get him around 4,000 defense. His crit rate isn't maxed, but I'm getting increased crit rate from Lanicus. So that helps. And his gear may have been changed even since then. But ballpark, aim for about 4,000 defense and just as much attack and crit. So yeah, I could probably get way more attack if I farmed around. And maybe even another 10 or 20 crit damage. Like I say, I don't do live arena, so I don't have that many stats in there. I've got 2 Krisks, and I do believe the one with blessings. Yeah, see, this is my first Krisk. This is the one I use in the Clan Boss team. He's got 5,000 defense, but he's basically the meat shield. He's absorbing as much damage as possible to keep the other ones alive. Because the bigger that shield grows from Brogni's big hits, the Clan Boss hits, he doesn't take all the shield down. But you need to have a lot of mitigation. I could do more damage, but he's primarily in there to extend the shields and absorb damage for everybody else. Should go over to masteries. Like I say, it's been almost a year since the nerf, and I haven't looked at anybody's builds, so people have been making modifications. It primarily was to get the shield just as big as possible, so Corpulent could hit harder. It's not quite the same anymore. I think they're going with, they do the buff extenders, but they don't focus so much on the size of the shield. They kind of go more damage and more buffs, and they change up the champions, going like I did try different champions. I tried, this was 8 months ago, but I tried Turbo, I tried Ninja, I may have tried Dracomorph, and I just settled for Noob. They were all so close, and I left Newt in the build that he was already in for other content. I hadn't had him very long at that point, and about the only thing I had to change is I put a shield set on him. And there again, he's not max crit rate, but he gets up to max, over max. Yeah, his crit damage is actually really low. He's only got a 5-star piece on, and it doesn't have, it's got defenses, which is good for him, but it's not crit damage. I'm not making any changes to the team because it's doing 300 million damage. Speed boots. His defense is where his damage comes from. That's why it's so much higher. He doesn't need attack at all. That could be 0 and it wouldn't have hurt him. Speed could be a little bit quicker, but yeah, his build could go up quite a bit. And then who else is in the team? Lanicus, and she's actually right here. Alright, so she's in a refresh set to get around to her A2 more often. This is what extends the buff, but it also brings in other attackers. And Newt does a decreased defense on his A1, and the clan boss is usually has a decreased defense up from when he hits Krisk, but here comes Newt with another. Alright, we got the increased crit rate, increased attack. The attack helps Brogni, but it doesn't help Newt. But the crit rate does. You know, I could probably change her out. I could put in the mythical now, and I would just have to block out her metamorph. Because, well, it's increased crit rate and crit damage. So I'd have to take their crit rate back up to 100. But this one here increases the duration of all the buffs. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. I'd probably change her out of this set. I'd put her in a reflex, that way it's not taking 2 turns. He's actually in a kind of a clan boss build because I can do way more damage in PvP and waves of other content if I change him out of this gear, but I want him to get around to his A2 more often, and I don't do PvP other than when I have to. So this one here, his A3 is his big hitter, and it's his multiple. It extends his buffs. He's tanky as all get out with his passives. His blessing has nothing to do with the clan boss. And his aura, actually, he's in the lead of the team, so he's giving everybody 24% more. So right there, if I switch to her, I'd actually get more crit damage, so I could actually make an improvement to the team. But I like using her in Hydra. And I could put her in a refresh set and still use her in Hydra. Alright, let me see here. Yeah, trying to be in a low spender took me out of PvP. I stopped when they did the Guardian Ring and the Faction Guardians, because I barely got a Siphi after she was out for 2 years, and all of a sudden everybody had a ×4 Siphi and a ×4 speed lead with 430 speed, and you could still get up into platinum and still compete, but I work at night and I'm not going to be in there fighting when I'm at work, so it was useless. So basically it just saved me from wasting all my money in the game. Now I just kind of target specific champions to make the game easier and funner, and I don't even care about PvP anymore. It's partly why the live arena just gets ignored. I got up into gold and I bounced back and forth, and I literally will go 2 weeks without even doing a single battle. So trying to think here. Go over Brogni's masteries. Sorry, this is all butchered up. I'm not feeling well, and I hadn't planned this out. Because we're targeted on growing the shield, not worried about how much damage he does with his A1 and his A3. He doesn't do anything with his A3. I don't even know if it's optimized anymore. It's just what I got. I should probably peek to see what else other people have done. I could take him out of the battle anymore and substitute somebody else in and put him back in a PvP build or a wave clearing build. But I actually use him in Hydra. Same way that I'm using him in Clan Boss. By her having Bulwark, it helps her keep Krisk alive. That way he's not doing all the heavy lifting.
Hello?
She does cast buffs, and I'm not speed tuned at all, and they do when they're trying to get to 1 or 1.5 billion damage and all that.
Am I alive yet?
They work on the damage and the speed tune. I'm not. I basically had Krisk back in the day. I do believe he had to be like 289 speed, and I'm not focused on that anymore. but I think he had like a really crazy banner. Yeah, that's not it. He had a banner that had like 29 speed on it or something. Yeah, he had a banner with 30 speed on it. When I cared about the speed. Alright. Trying to think here. Ninja did 300 million. Turbolt did 300 million. This is more of a this is more of a Sand Devil deal. It's nothing to do with Clan Boss. And I have no idea what Turbolt's built like. He might not even have gear on him. I don't have any blessings for him, so I don't think he's all that high in the ratings. I think I recently pulled... Yeah, so I recently pulled him. He doesn't have any blessings. Or masteries. Or gear. I haven't really played with him yet. But Jintoro brings his own decreased defense and weaken, so... Krisk brings it, but this just helps get out in front. And his hits. He's just an awesome Clan Boss champion. Any of your big poisoners, if you're lasting 1500 turns, it's not hard to get over 200 million damage. Trying to think here, so where's that Krisk at? Just to be sure. That was the Krisk Masteries. He was in the Guardian set. So basically, at least one person in the Guardian set. I would probably be doing better to put somebody other than Krisk in the Guardian set. Since he's such a meat shield. Terras would be an interesting idea because he just absorbs so much damage anyway. But you would have to have one hell of a... For him to be hitting for 300, 400 million, or 300,000 per hit, it'd have to be a hell of a set. Most everybody, this is the old school build, most everybody is in at least one set of Divine. If you don't want to put every single champion in a Divine set, you'd almost want to start with somebody in the Bulwark set, like your Krisk. If you put Krisk in the Bulwark set, you could really focus on his hit points and his defense, and he'd get some big heals, but it wouldn't matter because he'll never, the shield is up, he'll never take any damage. But you're just going for the super, it'll help him in other parts of the game. But with a Bulwark set, everybody else starts with the shield. So when I start the battle, just for fun, I'm going to switch up something. Go to Clan Boss. He's probably naked, so and I didn't spot him, so I probably shouldn't use Turbolt. Morning, guys. Let's see what we got here. Go to battle. Team setup. Where are we at? Alright, here's the team setup. Terras. Just do that as often as possible. And he is in the refresh set. Krisk. He basically opens with this, and I could almost never use it again. So it's just A1 and A2. A1 and A2. Lanicus, same thing. Opens with it and never uses it again because all the buff extenders, you don't need it. I'm actually surprised that his wasn't blocked off. But I'm not going to worry about it. G-Nut. He uses it once and never uses it again. Under Priest. He uses it once, and just in case somebody in the beginning drops in the first few turns, if I don't get enough refreshes and somebody drops, it will periodically cast that. a more optimized build, and I wouldn't even need that. I could turn that off, and I think I used to have it off. But all right, so I'm gonna think about, see, just for fun, I'm gonna take Nut out, and he's not built for Clan Boss. He does ramp up good though. I really need to put somebody in there who's got gear though. There are actually a lot of champions you could use to get over 100 million or even 200 million damage. Not knowing how he's built, you could do it this way and get tons of poisons. I'm not sure how a Crizia does, but you could use a Crizia. You could use bombs and poisons. Or you could just use somebody who hits like a drug. I've even got this guy built in the damage set now. Oh. At this point, oh wait, I took out Brogni. How did I do that? Let me see here. That shield will never land, but that's a pretty hard hit. I just kind of peek and see what he does right at first. .36 is really nothing. Dracomorph would be doing more. He'd be doing an awful lot of counterattacks though, which would make the battle super, super long. Yeah, see, Terras in a reflex set hit for 1 million. And I could actually probably hit for 2 or 3 million if I was to put him in a damage build. I know when I first got him, I had him in a damage build, and I was using him for PvP, and I did have a lot of fun, but not being able to do flat pushes on Monday night, it just made it to where it was a waste of time to use. It's like taking an army tank against a kid on a bicycle to just worry about gold 4, and I don't even, a lot of times I just put in one player defense and let people hit me and get some, you know, rewards. This really isn't, it's an end game team of sure, but it's not really a big boy team because the guys who still focus on this, Victor Torres or Victor and Dragonbeard, those guys, they just love the Clan Boss as far as world record. I mean, if I was popping up into the world record every couple of weeks, I'd care too, but I'm just copying what they did. And I'll bet you they wouldn't use Terras. They'd probably use somebody else because they'd want to use Terras somewhere else. They wouldn't want to use him. They wouldn't, you know, tie his feet together and use him in the Clan Boss. But you see how big that shield is. It'll actually get to where they all have just one spot of green. And it'll just stay that way the entire time. Back in the day, I used to watch, and I used to have like 48 or 58 or 68 turns on all the buffs. One of the reasons you like to turn Krisk's A3 off is the heals come from his A2. But if he ever dropped a buff, he'd fill it instantly with a heal, and then you wouldn't get the buff back. The only one that really matters is the shields, these two shields. See, when they started, because they all have the divine speed or divine offense or divine life set, they all had a second shield. That's why if you don't want to have 5 sets of divine, you can go with one person in a shield set or a holster set to get that second shield. Alright, I'm going to step out of this again real quick. Always buying my greens. Alright, here where are we at? So that was just playing around. Somebody else to do damage. And that really wasn't looking at anything to do with his speed. His crit damage is 250. Thing with him is he's just going to keep, he does have ignore defense on for one part and then stone skin. So he's actually in like a PvP slash, I use him in my Iron Twins. I don't have any keys left, but yeah, they. Okay. Yep. So that's kind of the clan boss team I'm using. Brogni is pretty much the key. Krisk is a pretty huge part of it. There's a website that's been around forever for Raid, and it's still updated. Let me see here. I'm gonna start a battle so I'm not just sitting here staring at one champion. The refresh accessories actually can help quite a bit too. He's got 2 of them on. That helps him get to his A2 over and over again. I don't know why I don't have 3 of them on. Maybe because somebody else stole his crit damage. Stole his crit damage necklace. Yeah. She's got attack. I don't need to optimize him any more than I have him, but he actually has some pretty crazy gear on. That could go crit damage. I could get more crit damage there. Terras brings the 24%. So puts him up over 100 with just Terrace in the lead, but he's also getting a buff. So I could get crit damage there. I don't need that 10%. And I run Terrace and him together in Hydra as well. So I could have like almost 400 crit damage if I kept pushing. We got another 20 here. And another, what, 10 crit damage there. And defense percent actually does help because their shields won't fall down quite so fast. I mean, I could go with attack too because the harder hit points does nothing. It's either going to be defense or attack. I think, yeah, I wanted 4,000 defense, and I would like to have like 7,000 attack, but they're getting the job done. Oh, I was mentioning a website. I wanted to start a battle here. Try to figure out what I got. Any energy? Yeah, I got some energy. Primarily going to focus on Dragon later today. And in the next week, I want to take this up to 25. I've been building a second nuke. Can't remember if I was playing with it last week. Alright, I'm gonna put this on while I get a link to the website I want to link. As long as it doesn't fall apart. Oh my goodness, this whole time apologies, guys. This is just how bad of a streamer I am. Oh, I'm sitting there showing gear, and all you guys is seeing be right back while I'm talking. Alright, so I'm going to go grab this website real quick. It's been a minute since I've used the website, but it is so beneficial. Hey Trigger, I just looked over and saw you right when I changed the page. Oh no, let me see here. Turn it down there and I'll turn it down here. I moved the mic right over by my face so it's not 2 foot away. Yeah, the account thing. Oh my god, I just looked over when I went to change I get to where I can see the chat on my screen, but I lost. That ain't no good. Don't want to lose. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get it all set up. I mean, I don't want it to be distorted, and I don't want it to be too loud. Before it was distorted. Even if it was quiet, it was distorted because it was coming from across the room. Alright, so real quick here. How do I get that typed in there? I should have had this saved on a hotkey. It's saved on a hotkey on a different PC. All right. So I'm going to post this. What do you mean I got to sign into my own web chat? This is ridiculous. All right. So this is a website. I'm sure, Trigger, you know what it is, but people that might not know what it is. Website with multiple games, but Raid is focused on in there. And with the website, you can type in specific buffs, like buff extenders, and you can actually get all the champions who extend buffs, and you can look for champions that you have, and you can also look for people with like ally protect and stuff. They've added that to the game now with the filters, so that's actually, you know, kind of nice too. But the website itself is still hugely beneficial if you're trying to look for ideas, kind of like Hell Hades. You know, you basically can go to Hell Hades now and get a lot of this stuff too, but this was around before Hell Hades was. We all use this from day one when we started looking up stuff, and it's kept up with the game. It's still available out there, and you probably like the clicks if anybody wanted to go check it out. Alright, so go ahead and stop the battles here. Really don't want to waste any energy in here today because it's not doing anything towards the gear. But this is primarily my focus, this and Hydra. And of course I'm going to focus on it, and I'm going to make a optimized team, and then they're going to make it easy. As long as they don't nerf all the people who can actually do something. That's what pisses me off. I spend 3 months building a team and probably 300 million silver, and then they nerf a champion. And it's the... All right. So I pushed real high in arena. I'm gonna probably just sit here all week. I guess I should check to make. Yeah, I can get another 200 million, or I can get another 200,000 defense if I want to poke around in there. But most people won't fight me, so I'll just stay here all week. I should have farmed it, but I didn't farm last week. I farmed last week. That's where I bought the chicken and stuff. And I bought the shard because I wanted a second Yumiko, because she would really, really help my speed teams and my Hydra. All right. Yep. Yeah, I almost, depending on the fusion, and that's probably why they put it in there. So they put it in there so they would drain some resources. And you can see I don't have any. And yesterday I had 300. And I had already been kind of, I had up to like 26 million silver last night, so I did roll up some pieces, and I basically was just rolling up the Slayer gear to 12 to see what I'd end up with. I think Slayer and no, not. So I was rolling up my Slayer and my Sonic to see what I could get for speed, and I got one interesting pair of boots. I think it was in the Merciless set. No. Well, I don't know where those boots are. I don't think it was a Slayer set of boots. Oh, yeah, it was. So I got a Slayer set of boots with 24% crit rate on them. I took it, I rolled it up. It landed, of course, it landed on... yeah. Oh, yeah, you know, I haven't even been on his account in 2 weeks. And this is normally the time I do the most work on his account, is on a Monday, Tuesday, when I do a lot of, I try not to do all the work on this week, because he likes clan versus clan so much. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:48. I wonder if he's texted me yet this morning. Peeking on my phone real quick. Nope. No text from FaZe. I guess I could peek. He usually sleeps till 8 in the morning. So he, this is new for him as of the last couple months, because he would usually get up at 8 o'clock and go into work, East Coast time. He's up there in like Connecticut. He would, and I would like, dude, you need to get on at 6. At the time it was 5 a.m. Now it's 6, and at least use one key and then go back to bed. But like right there, he's good for the day. You know, he'll use one up here and one right here maybe. Yeah, FaZe is probably, he's probably playing Call of Duty or some other first-person shooter game, and he's probably playing, but he's not playing as hard as he does when CVC is in. For some reason, he just loves that CVC, the competition. I wish they'd change CVC where we would fight each other in PvP and we would compare each other, like the whole clan. So not just about spending resources, but getting points for the fastest time in a certain dungeon. Or getting, so, you know, our lower players would compare to their lower players. Our middle players would compare to their middle players. Our fastest and hardest hitters would compare to their fastest and hardest hitters. And basically you're just looking for dungeon times. You'd get points for the faster dungeon. You get points for, you know, the amount of runs you do, like they're doing now, just maximizing resource loss. But even PvP battles, I just would like to see some kind of change away from the monetization, but increasing the competition. All right, trying to think here. Got energy regenning. Building another Carl. I could spend my silver on working on my Phantom team, or I could spend my silver on Hydra. Oh, they changed the boss last week. Wow, we're already at, I haven't even hit it once and you guys have already got almost 1 billion. Come on, FaZe, use your save teams. He is absolutely 100% not a clan boss champion. He does, or not a clan boss or a Hydra champion. He stuns. Hydra can't be stuns. He decreases turn meter. You can't decrease their turn meter. That's what he does. So he's useless. There's not a single healer in here, and there's not a single block debuffs or, yeah, there's a bunch of hard hitters and there's one tank. So there's a taunt, and there's a taunt. There's a block debuff. hit point burn, damage. I've never used, because he's more of a glass cannon. Heferak, he hits hard, but I wouldn't use him in Clan Boss necessarily. You got a taunt down here, so basically taking one of these taunts out of this team and put it up here. You got a healer, a reser, you got block debuffs, you got a stealer, and it. Kind of wondering why that. Oh, you did it on hard, normal. I almost need to get on your account because I know I built you a team, but it had him in it. And that's not it. That's not the team I built. Yeah, I don't know. He loves to play with his champions. He likes to stick different I get in there and he'll be doing all sorts of crazy things. Matter of fact, since let me use one more battle so that who am I working on? Yeah, so this is my Phantom Grove right here. And this is Fire Knight Champions here I'm building. Yeah, there's I don't know why he uses a champion that does really super well for him in PvP, and then he moves it to some other position in the game where it does nothing. Some champions you could take everywhere, and they're good everywhere. Some champions that kind of are pinpoint accuracy. And a lot of them can be dual purpose, but very few champions are actually useful everywhere. And what is his name? Arminus, we'll call him Jack Sparrow there. He's actually great for Doom Tower waves, any of the Cursed City waves. He's basically a crowd controlled monster. He's not good against bosses unless they can have their turn meter reduced. Yeah, I seen that last week. I was like, oh man. He at least, actually, you know what? He didn't even get a single key, did he? Or he got a reward. He'll get a reward for the normal boss because he got over 1.5 million. But he almost missed out on getting any reward at all. Why aren't you guys letting us, do 10 battles here? If we have energy, all right, so we're going to come in here. We want to do this. Say we want to do 100 battles and we got 2,000 energy. We click on this right here, a little box, click, and then we can either do the double battles or 100 battles and just get it out of the way. We're just going to spend energy and money, gems so fast. You guys will be making money. All you're doing is making it waste time. Oh no. He didn't get the 1.6. I'm gonna pop into his account. He went as soon as he hits, I think he goes back to sleep. I should probably get my screen right again over here. All right. Get this closed. Yeah, he was farming something. But holy shit. I make fun of him when he's got 20 million energy. Oh man. I need to start working more so I can buy energy. Is it done? Nope. He must be doing, he must be working on masteries. Yeah, no shit. Last week he used every ounce of his energy. Tuesday. I dropped a couple of people that were never hitting Clan Boss, and they were never hitting Hydra. They would log in like once every 3 days. I went ahead and let them go. all they were doing was collecting like free energy and then logging back out, so I just dropped them. And that way we can replace them with somebody who actually hit Hydra. Let me see here. Yeah, he had to have been working on... Oh yeah, he sent me a picture and he's already 60'd him. Recently used. Yeah, so he wants me to gear him and her. You know, I got him and I've never used him. But they recently buffed him, but I've never used him. I've got her and never used her either. He's got 2 of her now? Oh no, I had recently used Click. Alright, where are we at? Oh, that's not who I want. Well, we'll find a use for him somewhere. This would be a guy you want to take to 60 right here. For Fire Knight hard. Yeah, I know they did buff him, and you know how everything's clickbait on YouTube, and I read some of the stuff that people were posting, but I didn't have time to watch the videos. Oh man, you could be farming hard, bud. I can't believe he hasn't pulled a seer yet, other than the one he accidentally ate. Alright, Jack Sparrow, where you at? He'd better off doing a deck of fate and... Oh yeah, we'll put him on Spider and farm him. I didn't even look at his silver. I just saw how that 47,000 energy. All right, let me see here. Speed, yeah, let's go first. Decrease defense. I got to tell him that at this point he needs to start on hard and go as high and hard as he can, as high as he can in hard before he starts climbing normal. That way he can use his silver keys on the hard bosses, because there's still some sets there he can use. He needs to get at least 1 or 2 good guardian sets and some of the lifesteal sets. I can't believe it. I had a sore throat last week and then ended up with indigestion yesterday. That's not something I usually suffer from, but I haven't been following my diet. I've been eating junk food. Nobody was at the house, so I was eating corn chips and salsa. Which is not horrible, it's just corn chips is not in my diet, and I had donuts when I was out on the road. Come on. I guess I thought Harima would be quicker, wave clearer. But he's got all... we actually take her out. She's doing damage, but she's also crowd control. Yeah, that's right. You sent me 2 messages about that this week. I'll just find the accounts that I gave away that I actually have the passwords to, because it was 2 accounts I didn't have passwords to. They were tied to my ex-girlfriend's phone number. Trying to figure. I haven't. I think I need to give him a better Fire Knight team too. So next week, I think I'm going to build him a Fire Knight team over a Hydra, because that's kind of end game, and he hasn't. I don't like Hydra because it is so difficult. But it's basically getting your head wrapped around all of the things you need to bring to the battle and what you don't need. Yeah, he's not going to get a single reward. That sucks. Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow morning is the reset, right? Yeah, so tomorrow morning I'm going to be on his account, and I want to use at least one Hydra key again. I wish they would let us practice after we've used our keys. They won't let us practice after we've used our keys. I'd like to be able to look at the teams and all sorts of... What are you doing, Maz? Sandbagging? Oh, it's because he put in so much damage. Was that on hard too? Oh, it was on normal. Yeah, I think he said he wanted to work on his Fire Knight team too. He don't need my help though. He's good. He's good. He was kind of curious about the Clan Boss team. That's why I showed it this morning. Yeah, I should probably do that before Avery wakes up. I think she's going to school today, but I didn't ask. Alright. Yeah, he doesn't really have as much silver as he does energy. Oh man, I've only got his account on this main computer, and it's got a code on it too, so I can't log into the other computers without calling him and waking him up. What are you doing? What are you doing? I guess maybe he was trying to push past. Alright. I don't know if that crit rate is all battles, but we'll just stick it in there. And then we'll use her hit points maybe next. 6,000. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and click that auto battle next, and then I'm going to grab something else and put it in the stream. Not for you, because I think you've already mentioned you knew it, but I'm going to put the Gary's Hood auto clicker in there. for the people on the cell phones, there's nothing I can do. JB. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is the best way. There are things that didn't make sense to me, like when I went and found him messing around in what was it, Nightmare Campaign, after we had already 3-starred the whole thing, and he was using a bunch of level 60 champions, but he was playing with them. That he loves to play with his champions. I mean, it's like a girl with his Barbie dolls. And he is new to the game, so as of less than a year, if I can think, I basically had Hegemon sitting on my vault for, they didn't have a vault, but I had Hegemon for about 3 months before I realized he was good. So, but I got him within the first 6 months of the game. That was before I played the game for 3 or 4 months before I watched a single YouTube video. Hegemon was my first legendary. Avoid legendary was my first, and the second was his damn ugly brother. Oh, I can't think of his name. He's got the highest attack in the entire game, and he does another blocks active skills debuff, but he just doesn't have very good multipliers. Alright, I'm gonna go right here, click this for a minute, and I'll pop over here. For the people who make it this far into the video, you have to use a PC for this. But that is an auto clicker that won't use auto battles, and you won't be able to be streaming or doing anything. If you're on your computer, it will keep clicking when you don't want it to. So it's basically when you go to bed, if you don't want it to use auto battles, you go in there, follow the link, and then you go classic version is all I use, the little red one on the bottom. It's super simple. And then you just basically hover over like replay, like it's going to be right in here. So I just hover over replay, and I set it up for like 9 or 15 seconds, and every 15 seconds it just click, click. So when a battle's done, it might go 7 seconds and like 8 seconds, and then click, and it'll automatically restart without using your battles. I like to save these battles for maybe if I want to do 100 or 200 specific battles and save energy, or if I'm leveling champions. That's where I like using these, because it'll auto pull. I haven't used RSL Helper because I got sick of downloading it over and over and over again. I actually I donated like $60 the first year that came out because it was such a big benefit. But after like a year of downloading and downloading and downloading, I just got sick of downloading it, so I just stopped using it. All the updates, it's not his fault. I mean, the game makes a change and he's got to change with the game, but I just stopped using it. But at least I threw him $60 that first year. Alright, this is going to get kind of boring, and I probably should jump off and start cleaning while I still not falling down sick. I just wanted to get on here and try some of the new stuff, so let me double check the volume on this. I've got the volume at 16 on my TV, and I've got it at 38% on my desktop source, so I'm gonna leave that as is, and hopefully this doesn't just start messing up. Its Streamlabs is part of OBS, it's just a different version, I guess. But OBS has been causing me problems for the last 6 months. Every month it seems like it just goes down, and I lose my mic and I lose everything, and I'm sick of, like last night I worked on it for 3 hours, not feeling good. I kept playing with it and playing it, and I'm like, the only way I figured I could get it to work again is to delete it and start over, because it would not pick my microphone up for nothing. I was like, I tried plugging and unplugging my microphone into different ports. I turned my computer off. I did updates. I started by, you got a little window where you create the source, and I started with a whole new source, and it still wouldn't pick up the microphone. And I was like, I don't know. I just done. So I went ahead and looked for other versions, and I had used Streamlabs in the past, so I went with that. But I actually was looking to go outside of that genre. I was looking at the other name brands on my other PC. I just didn't feel good, and I needed to get to sleep. I am going to go ahead and shut this down, and I will definitely try. Next week is going to be a Fire Night, and so I'm going to work on Fire Night next week. I'm going to work on my Fire Night, FaZe's Fire Night. I'm going to work on my Phantom Grove, and I'm going to work on, I think I'm just going to focus on FaZe's Fire Night. And, I should, before I jump off, you know what? I'm going to, because he wants to play with those champions, so I'll take a look at them. Maybe on the second PC here, I'm going to pull up a guide to, I'm going to do one more battle while I pull up a guide. I think I'm going to go with why? Come on. You hate me. I don't know why, but you hate me. Alright, my computer hates me. It's not going to let me look up a guide. Man, I don't think I'm that far. I just got this last night. I must have missed a day when I was sick. Well, I guess I didn't miss a day. I just didn't do as much as he did. Man, only an hour and 14 minutes left. I'd really like to get him up into here. We got 1,000 points that quick. You know what? I'm not gonna build his team right now. I'm gonna keep farming this for him. All right. I'll plan to get. I'm gonna try to get back on later today. I'm gonna do some house cleaning. I'm probably gonna take another nap, and then I'm gonna plan to get on, and I'm gonna be doing a live stream. I had a couple plans for videos. I actually tried making a couple of new player guides this weekend, but because the mic was giving me such a hard time, I didn't. I just gave up. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Gary's Hood auto clicker, and I'm gonna set it up for about 9 seconds, and I think I'll do laundry and dishes or something. That way I'm not streaming while it's making all that noise. Well, thanks for stopping in, Trigger, and hopefully if some of the other guys get in a little bit later today, it's not too messed up in the beginning. I actually thought the volume was set right, and then of course there was that like 10-minute period where I wasn't even showing the game. I accidentally clicked this button when I or this button, And I didn't realize the game wasn't playing. See you, bud. If you're working today, have a good day. Be safe.